Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zach and we're doing another Ecomi OMI VeVe video. Right now, the price is 8237 on a low of 7661 and a high of 8293 over the past 24 hours. I haven't been making daily videos on VeVe for a while, so bear with me if I'm not completely on it at the moment, but I'm going to try and get this thing going daily, especially because I'm seeing a lot more of community feedback for VeVe things, obviously over the past 48, 72 hours and long before that, in fairness. People have always been having issues with VeVe, whether it's about OMI price because of, you know, certain things not coming at the time that they say that it's going to come because of just general business logistics, you know, things like the MTL taking a while, of course, even seeing licenses, you know, etc, etc. A lot of people oftentimes want to see stuff now, which is why when is such a popular term in this space. Having said that, I want to go through some of the stuff that we're looking at today as far as the whole bot thing. People are really getting tired of it. I can see that there's a lot of community concern, community worry about this, and realistically, the videos that I've done the most recently that have done well is me talking about these bots. No, if I talk about a license or an NFT drop, it'll get less than half the views of if I talk about bots, so that's where we are. Not a surprise, I've been doing YouTube for long enough to know that, of course, when you're talking about some level of scam or some level of, you know, something like that happening, it generally does. It generally garners more attention. Having said that, let's start off with the good news, which is we're in the 8s! Awesome. Yesterday we just about hit the 8 and I made a video about it, of course. Very exciting. And then now, what, like 12 hours, 18 hours later, we're in the 8 and we've kind of made it, we're getting to a sustainability with it. We still haven't hit like 8.5s, for example, so we're still, you know, round about 8, but still, it's good. It's good that we're seeing what we're seeing. Having said that, I want to have a quick look at something that VeVe tweeted just now, which was about, I think it was the Miles Morales drop, because I liked it. There we go, here it is. So we're going to go over the bot stuff in a bit. Just going to have a quick look at this Miles Morales thing. First appearance of Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man, Marvel Digital Comic Ultimate Fallout #4, drops Tuesday, 12 October at 8 AM PT. So we'll have a look at this. Oh, I thought there was going to be a blog post. There isn't. Okay, well, I guess that's what we're going to look at the moment, which is, of course, we have 5 different comics, and that's awesome to see, and I'm sure that we'll see more information about that tomorrow, most likely, so be on the lookout for that video. Having said that, because I thought there was going to be more than that, I do want to have a quick look at something that VeVe tweeted out also an hour ago, which had some level of awareness around the bot stuff, right? That's a wrap on New York Comic Con week. What in the world? Oh my gosh, there's a massive, like, daddy long legs or something in this room. It just literally flew right by me. We have lots to cover next week, obviously, so thank you for hanging in there with us for now. How about Tuesday's comic? Thank you for sending us screenshots, etc. of nefarious activity. We are well aware and we are addressing, of course, when they're talking about activity, talking about the bot stuff. Let's have a quick look at what Taps was talking about. What a month! This pre-immutable X move before more exchanges, pre-Masters Collector program, pre-MTL, which someone asked what an MTL is in one of the comments on my videos. I'm so glad that people feel that they can ask that sort of thing. MTL is money transfer license. Essentially, it means, or my understanding at least, is that it is what Ecomi needs legally for many jurisdictions to essentially have money transferring, right, with OMI fiat sort of, and you know, working with banks and stuff. So from what we looked at before, they're working with banks now. Pretty much everything in general has been sorted out. They're just working with banks to get the whole thing finalized. I'm being very general because I'm not going to pretend like I know every part of the process. I don't. I'm just going over what I've heard, what I've seen, and I understand that it is an incredibly important part of this process for, like I say, transferring money, because at the end of the day we're talking about a lot of money going on here with people's accounts and stuff, and so you've got to get that right. And so thankfully there are laws in place as in jurisdictions that really honestly protects us, right? It protects us as consumers. So October and November are going to be big months for OMI, and of course we can see right here is the 8194, and since then we've gone up a little bit, so always good to see. Now, time for the big topic of the week, which is bots. Let's go into it. Let's start off with Vel's tweet. Send me all proof of bots you see, real proof only. Let them leave them down below. We will get this resolved. I'm not going to go through every single reply here because, but I did see this one. It was interesting, right? This person is clearly tweeting a link of this video, more proof of bots, VeVe, Ecomi Reese, etc. Spread the word until VeVe actually do something, and we can see some footage right here. What are they doing besides using emulators? Do they use software to press the buttons in an instant? He's other stuff, right? Now, realistically, this was actually posted on another page as well. Apparently, it's been posted on Telegram. All good, not feeling screwed at all. And of course, we can see what seems to be emulators, right, on computers. Now, this gets really complicated because this comes to the point of auto clickers, which if you don't know what an auto clicker is, I've never used one, but I know in a previous business venture that I was doing, nothing to do with crypto or anything, I was doing some video stuff and I was being suggested to use auto clickers for certain processes because that's what they, auto clickers can be like, nefarious activity, but they can also be genuinely important tools for certain businesses. So I never used one, but I know what they do because someone, one of my business friends, suggested it to me for a solution on one of the things that I was doing in a prior business. But yeah, essentially auto clickers they literally, my understanding at least, they'll you can set up where the click is going to happen, and it automatically clicks for you. A software automatically clicks for you in certain places and does certain functions on the computer for you. If I got that wrong and you know how, and you build auto clicker, or if you use auto clickers every day, please let me know. And to be very clear, when I say that, auto clickers can be legitimate tools. It's not always, in this case, it's not good, but they can be legitimate tools. Moving forward though, I ever wonder why you never get the VeVe drops? ? This is from the Naked Whale. I've been shown some image of a VeVe user using an emulator to capture comics and collectibles. Please like and share it so this can be more widely shared amongst the community. Now, need to get my copy in, I'm sorry. Now, one thing I want to say now is that if you use, I don't know, if in your posts you put down @Ecomi or OMI or anything like that, the reason why I'm actually finding these is because I'm literally going on Twitter and trying to find every bit of relevant community conversation, which is why I'm coming up with all these tabs. I found these tweets prior, put them into Firefox, etc. So what I'm getting at is that if you have something that you want to show off, either at me, @ZakiZoo, I'll show my Twitter in a minute, or literally just @Ecomi or put the OMI thing or whatever, and I'll probably find it because I'm scrolling. I mean, I'm not guaranteeing that I'll find it because a lot of people are tweeting, but that's how I'm finding some of this stuff. Anyway, we can see right here, of course, we have one monitor in the setup, and then we have another monitor right here. In fact, now that I'm looking at it, is this the same setup? No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't think so, at least. So yeah, we have, I think, 2 monitors here, or one monitor. No, 2 monitors, because yeah, that's definitely 2 monitors. But yeah, we can see clearly there's a lot of, emulators being used there. And then we have another person. My bad. Writing, their name is I Hate Society. Wonder why you never get a drop. And then essentially putting down a screenshot of a message. People like me get hired, and I write a Python script to detect the buy button appearing, it clicking in 1/60th of a second. I don't care how practiced you are. I don't care if you're a VeVe Pro, esports pro. You ain't doing it in 1/60th of a second, unless you're really lucky, but not consistently. It doesn't run on the phone. It runs on an emulation or a phone. My bots are for sale on... And then we have more here. The price of the contract for the bot is 1,400. So Yeah, I mean, this guy said it all right here. 1/60th a second. I thought I was fast, and then yeah, we got no chance. So it's not looking good. I actually found this Upwork thing as well on Twitter. I can't remember where, but someone posted about it. And of course, you can see here that someone is hiring for it. So $100 for a bot that will essentially, you know, well, you can see right here, search VeVe apps in Android or iOS. The app is NFT collectibles. Need bot, which can click buy button faster than hand. You know, skills and expertise is the bot development, and already 5 to 10 proposals. Interviewing 5, 3 invites sent. So, yeah. Then we have Reese talking about the drops. So, I mean, this isn't relative to or related to the bot stuff specifically, but of course we have here the Toki Doki announcement, you know, and then we have, of course, Beard and a Batman. That's an awesome name. It has been so long since the last time I got a top tier VeVe official collectible on drop day, but as an early adopter, I'm not even mad. I'm proud to and impressed with how far the Ecomi team has brought us. We still have so far to go together. And of course, we have Reese here. Thank you. Even I don't get the drops these days, but there's no point in being sour. This is what international adoption looks like. Of course, we'll continue to add new layers and drop mechanisms, to spread the love as far as we can. Then we have Hello K talking about, and this was quite interesting to me because I saw someone else putting like a geographical map on Twitter showing all this information, because you can see here all these different locations, but essentially illustrating it on a map instead. But you can see right here that what he's saying is, if you've been struggling on drops, feel free to take this test and post your results, linking to cloudpingtest.com for essentially testing your ping with Amazon Web Services. For tomorrow's drop, take a screen recording of the drop, and if you miss out, then include that and I can try give feedback to help out. So of course here we have different Amazon Web Service regions, because I believe, like, honestly, the majority of consumer services online, I think at least, all of it's on Amazon Web Services, going to as much as Fortnite is even on Amazon Web Services, I'm pretty sure. So that being said, we can see different locations right here. Let's open in a new tab just so we can sort of zoom in a little bit. Of course, this is a latency test. You have different regions here: US East, US West, Africa, Asia Pacific, you know, different cities, of course, around, because obviously Asia Pacific and these different places are large places. So essentially, these are all different server locations, essentially, that Amazon Web Services has. And you can see, of course, therefore, afterwards, you can see the mean, which is the average from looking at math class back when I was, I don't know, 15. And you can see the different pings, essentially, is what it looks like to me. So you can see the different sort of, I don't even know how you would describe it. I know what it is, but I don't know how to describe it. Essentially, it's like the connection speed or the connection latency. So the higher your latency, the worse you're going to be off, right? So if you're in, so if you're in Seoul, for example, then you will be screwed, most likely. But if you are in, say, for example, London, and if you're close, especially close to the server location, then you might have, I don't know, maybe a 30 ping or something like that. We see 64 here, but that's average, right? So it could be that it's lower, maybe it's 50. Do you know what this reminds me of? When I saw this, it was kind of close to home, because and this isn't me talking about NFTs here. This is actually a gaming thing as well. Those of you who play video games, especially if you've had any look into esports, or if you're into competitive gaming at all, if you've done any scrims or any sort of anything like that, you know what I'm talking about, then you know how important ping is to gamers. In fact, it's so important that you literally have LAN centers out there in the world where people will be in the same room and they will play the game, simply because physical connection being very close is better for connection, which essentially means that it's got more competitive integrity. So this isn't here just because of a social thing. There's definitely a social thing involved here, but honestly, most esports tournaments with, say, if let's say a tournament has $1 million in prize pool, or 10 million, or whatever it might be, they will have everyone in one room together, because otherwise, say for example with the Fortnite World Cup, they put $100 million, I'm not joking, into the Fortnite World Cup, right? Now, I think about maybe 13 million of that was for the grand final, somewhere around there, or maybe 3 million, I can't remember. I think it was 30 million. And they had people from Europe, Australia, all over the world come to New York. This was back in 2018, before COVID, or 2019, I can't remember. And yeah, they essentially had them all played because you literally had so much money on the line, and the latency from Australia, for example, to America, or from Australia to Europe, or etc., it wouldn't be very competitive, and therefore the people who lived closer to the server would have a massive advantage. And it's a similar thing right here, right, where if you live close to a server, you're going to have certain advantages. Now, does this mean that Ecomi is making unfair advantages there? Absolutely not. This isn't within their control, this part specifically. I'm not talking about bots, that's different. I'm talking about pings and stuff. Like, there are certain things that you can do, and I know Val has made some videos, I haven't watched them yet, about like getting better connections, but you know, as someone who's in gaming and who knows a little bit about this stuff anyway, it's pretty simple, right? The better phone you have, the faster the processing power. Like, we're talking about every second counts here, right? So it's not, you know, so, you know, the expensive phones, expensive internet. Expensive internet doesn't even matter if you're not in a location where you can get good internet. So, you know, you can be paying $1,000 a month for it, but if you're getting worse internet than the next city across, then you got to move to the next city for better connection. Now, that's not fair necessarily, but that's how it works, and so on and so forth. So there are multiple factors that you can do, I think, that will help, you know, such things like getting an Ethernet adapter for your phone, because physical connection is always more powerful than wireless connection, or at least comparatively in a similar environment. So all these things help, and I think over time there'll be more resources to help people learn about it. But something that Cavell made a tweet about not long ago was talking about secondary market and how it's going to become probably the primary, in a weird way, primary from a usage perspective at least, experience for people. And I think that I can see that, right? Because you have all these different factors from internet connection, physical hardware, etc. And then you're also looking, of course, at the bots, which we don't know the level of it. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm saying it does exist, most likely, because VeVe, Ecomi people have literally said it exists, but we don't know to what extent. I'm not saying it's a large extent. I'm not saying it's a small extent. I'm saying I don't know. I think that's an underrated opinion these days. I don't know. Anyway, I think all those things will have to be put into account, but the reality is I think most people will be eventually getting onto the secondary market, because, you know, most people aren't going to be moving to different parts of the world for VeVe. It's just not going to happen. There'll be some hardcore collectors who make so much money or whatever from it, or, you know, are well off enough anyway that they will just move to a different place because it's their full-time passion or whatever. But that's the minority of people, and we're talking about millions upon millions of users eventually. I assume that we'll see more additions anyway, because of how many, you know, because of supply, demand, etc. But at the end of the day, this is always going to be limited, right? And so eventually the secondary market, if not already, is going to become the go-to. Plus, realistically, as far as these drops are concerned, right now, this is the hardcore community. Eventually, we're going to have people who are like, you know, who like VeVe, but they're not obsessed like we are. And so they're not going to be waking up at 5:30 or other stupid hours of the day specifically for a VeVe drop. So that being said, I'm seeing that I'm coming up to 20 minutes. I don't want to record any longer than that. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. There's a lot to go through here, and I'm going to continue making videos about it, but I would love to hear your take on everything I've spoken about in this video. Are you excited for OMI? Obviously, this month is looking great. We're not even a third, or we're just about a third way into it, so it's very exciting with the price action. But with that being said, if this video was interesting or helpful to you in any way, shape, or form, a like is always appreciated. And if you would like to be kept happening in this topic every single day, most of today, this is my channel, and I give everything going on every single day. So if you want to be everything happening, hit that subscribe button and keep notifications on. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you in. Oh, hang on. I just realized my Twitter is at ZakiZoo. I don't think Twitter will let me do it like this, but yeah, this is my Twitter. It's at ZakiZoo, and you can find me on there. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you on the next VeVe video.